We were talking about abortion before, and I left out a video, so I'm going to give you this one really, really quick. We were talking in this last section about how divisive abortion is, or some of these social issues are. And one of the things that you'll see from time to time, y'all, is the idea that people will use their economic powers in order to attempt to change an issue. I don't know if y'all are going to remember this, but this was a little bit before the pandemic. Chick-fil-A was a restaurant that actually got in some trouble, and I want to say that one of the CEOs had come out and basically was very much against same-sex marriage. Chick-fil-A, I will give them credit for this. Chick-fil-A is very religious, and they are closed on Sunday. And, if you think about when you make your money, you're going to make a hell of a lot of money on Saturdays. You're going to make an awful lot of money on Sundays too, because people are off. For their religious principles, they don't work on Sundays. And, they've put their money to a certain extent where their mouth is. But sometimes you can take your mouth a little too far when you start making statements that can be interpreted politically. And when they came out, and I'm going to paraphrase here, basically said that, we were inviting the wrath of God because of the same-sex marriages and whatnot. That got them some pretty dramatic headlines. And it was really funny because there were people out there that were very conservative. They were marriages between a man and a woman, period, if you think back to the belief quiz. And so all of a sudden they started going to Chick-fil-A. Yeah, let's go. I like that idea. Marriages between a man and a woman. Well, there were other folks that were engaged in same-sex relationships that now all of a sudden said, well, this restaurant has come out and said they're against us. So you know what? I'm not going to go eat there. Well, there's a group in the middle, and these could be, traditional marriage couple folk, or they could be more modern same-sex folk that really don't want to make a political statement. They just want to eat a damn good chicken sandwich with waffle fries. And I bring this up to you because there were some folks that were basically saying, I can't eat at a Chick-fil-A because of their politics, what they say, and then some of the causes that my money from these chicken sandwiches will go and fund that Chick-fil-A contributes to. Well, y'all, yeah, this eventually blew over. But abortion is something like this as well. And I want to show you a clip from Seinfeld because this clip is going to deal a little bit with this idea of Reagan appointing people to the Supreme Court. It's going to deal with this idea of the divisiveness of the issue. And let's be honest, whether we're talking about same-sex couples, maybe another good one right now is the idea of immigration. Maybe another one right now is, what is a woman on a woman's college sports team, because this is something that's gained quite a bit of publicity in the last maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years. But this would have been Seinfeld addressing this issue of abortion. I'm going to go ahead and run this in a couple of increments, and we'll talk about it. In this episode that I'm going to show you, just to set it up, Elaine, one of the main characters, has fallen in love, but she's very pro-choice. And you'll notice as you hear this discussion, this is something that can impact not only where or what she would eat, but also who she would in fact date. Let me go ahead and juggle my screens here for just a second. Bear with me and make sure I got my sound on. I think I do. This is a link that's listed in there. Seinfeld and abortion. This is a little silly in places, but I really do think in a simplified way, it kind of shows you some of the problems that we're going to have with some of these divisive social issues. But I think it also does a really good job of setting up why we're never really ever going to get this issue fully sorted. I will go ahead and run the clip.
Grammarly now uses AI to help you write, not just revise. Type a prompt
Sorry,
and
y'all.
generate
Let's skip it.
Boy, I'm really looking forward to this duck. I've never had food ordered in advance before.
Yeah, I could have stayed home and ordered a pizza from Pequino's.
Pequino's? Oh no, you should never order pizza from Pequino's.
Why not?
Because the owner contributes a lot of money to those fanatical anti-abortion groups.
So you won't eat the pizza?
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what if, Poppy felt the same way?
Well, I guess I wouldn't eat here then.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, perhaps we should inquire. Poppy! Oh, Poppy! Could I have a word?
Yes, Jim. I just checked your dog. It is more succulent than even I had hoped.
Poppy, I was just curious. Where do you stand on the abortion issue?
When my mother was adopted by the communists, she was with a child.
Oh, boy.
But the communists, they put an end to that. So on this issue, there's no debate. And no intelligent person can think differently.
Well, Poppy.
And what gives you the right to do that?
The Supreme Court gives me the right to do that. Let's go, Jerry. Come on.
I heard that. Let's go, Henry.
We just got here.
I'm with you, Poppy. Let's go. And I am not coming back.
You're not welcome.
Well, I'm certainly glad I brought it up. Well, you should have seen it. It was quite a scene over there.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Oh, you really missed something. And I have to say, it was pretty much all my fault.
I'm in love. Whoa. This is it, Jerry. This is it. He is such an incredible person. He's real. He's honest. He's unpretentious. Oh, I'm really lucky.
Did you tell him I was sorry I didn't offer him the drink?
No, I forgot. Oh, the best part is he doesn't play games. You know, there are no games.
No games? What is the point of dating without games? How do you know if you're winning or losing?
Well, all I know is he doesn't like games and he doesn't play games. You know, he has too much character and integrity.
Uh-huh. And what is his stand on abortion?
What?
What is his stand on abortion?
Well, I'm sure he's pro-choice.
How do you know?
Because well, he's just so good looking.
Well, you should probably ask, because if he's going to be coming over with those Pequino's pizzas, could be trouble.
I missed you.
Oh, I missed you.
I don't remember the last time I felt this way.
Me either.
I think about you all the time.
You do?
Do you think about me?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. Although, recently I've been thinking about this friend of mine.
What friend?
Oh, just this woman. She got impregnated by her troglodytic half-brother and decided to have an abortion.
You know, someday we're gonna get enough people in the Supreme Court to change that law.
You see what I mean on this, y'all, and I promise this last section will be it. But as you notice on this, this was about the debate that dealt with abortion and not actually abortion itself, these first few parts anyway. And I bring this up to you because understand, you might like Chick-fil-A, but if you go, aren't you also supporting the things that Chick-fil-A says it supports by buying sandwiches there, because it donates parts of the profits that in fact you give them when you buy the sandwiches. Now, again, I don't want to shame you out of Chick-fil-A because I like a good Chick-fil-A sandwich and waffle fries myself. But I'm just bringing up to you, be careful, because people can judge you and they can make decisions about your politics based on how you spend your money. You heard it in there. What did he say? One of these days, we're going to get enough people on the Supreme Court to change that law. This was in the Reagan-Bush years, at least the Bush years, Bush daddy in the late 90s. So I bring this up to you, early 90s, I should say. I bring this up to you. This was the debate that was going on. Let me go ahead and run this last part. And this last part is going to be more about pregnancy itself. And, Kramer is one of the other characters on this show, and he has an idea where he was going to create a pizzeria where people just made their own pizzas. You know, you go to a pizzeria today, you pick up your order to go, maybe somebody delivers it for you, you get the idea. Well, wouldn't it be kind of cool if you had some kids and you went in and you let them fix the dough and put the toppings on it and then you got to take that home. I could see where there would be some intensity in that, both positive and negative. Well, he's talking with Poppy again about when a pizza comes a pizza. I'll go ahead and I'll run this.
Yeah.
The movers.
Okay.
Who's that?
Your boyfriend, he's taking it out.
No, he's not my boyfriend.
Why?
Take a guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not tomorrow.
And cucumbers.
Wait a second. What is that?
It's cucumbers.
No. You can't put a cucumbers on a pizza.
Well, why not? I like cucumbers.
That's not a pizza. It'll taste terrible.
Yeah, but that's the idea. You make your own pie.
Yes, but we cannot give the people the right to choose any topping they want. Now, on this issue, there can be no debate.
What gives you the right to tell me how I would make my pie?
Because it's a pizza.
It's not a pizza till it comes out of the oven.
It's a pizza the moment you put your fist in the dough.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
You get the idea on this. And y'all, I'm closing with this, in this section, because understand the debate about abortion is when life begins. And if we want to put this in the context of when a pizza becomes a pizza when you put your fist in the dough, or is the pizza when it comes out of the oven? Well, if you take that analogy and you move it over to the idea of life, is life happening when the egg is fertilized, when you put your fist in the dough, so to speak? Or is life when it comes out of the oven, when the birth happens? And see, there are going to be some folks that are going to say life begins at conception. Others are going to say life begins when it literally comes out of the oven. And the trick on this, if you go back to Roe versus Wade, which what we were talking about a few minutes ago, is the idea that under Roe versus Wade, there was this sense that when the fetus became viable outside of the body of the mother, then in fact, at that point, life was life. Well, medical technology has changed an awful lot over the last 50 years. And effectively what this means is that viability is coming earlier and earlier and earlier as part of the process. So if life is coming earlier and earlier, it makes it's not a great surprise that Roe versus Wade's framework went away. And it's getting to the point where you could probably prove life earlier than maybe what you had done before. That doesn't bode well for the idea of abortion. And some states, y'all, have actually gotten to the point where they want to protect human rights when, shortly after the idea of conception, or maybe even all the way up to the beginning of conception. And the courts have not necessarily bought into this yet, but as medical technology continues to evolve, don't be surprised if it happens. I'll go ahead and stop there. Thanks, y'all.